Good evening and welcome to class again today. It's a wonderful Monday evening and it's me coming your way again, Apostle Dr. Revival John Ringdrat. And today in Ministerial Ethics, we are going to be looking at the ethics of relating with the opposite sex. When we talk about opposite sex, we therefore mean that not all ministers of God are men and not all ministers of God are women. But if you are a man as a minister of God, you should have an ethics of relating with any woman who is either a minister of God or a church member. And if you are a woman who is a minister of God, you should also have an ethics of relationship you keep with another man who is either another minister or who is a member but an opposite sex, a man. Now, the opposite sex of a man is a woman, and the opposite sex of a woman is a man. Now, the very nature of things tells us that as a man, you cannot relate with a woman the same way you relate with another man or a fellow man like you, because it may be interpreted differently. People will see it differently, and the woman you are relating with will also see it differently. And in the same way, a woman, you cannot relate with another man who is an opposite sex. You cannot relate with another man the same way you relate with other women, whether they are members of your congregation or they are fellow ministers like you. So now these things may not expressly be forbidden in scriptures as a matter of command from scriptures, but the very nature of things will deter you, as it will give some kind of interpretations and discreditations to your ministry. Now, historically, relationship with the opposite sex have been a problem area for ministers. One of the common kind of persecution rising concerning ministers these days has to do with the relationship with the opposite sex. It is the utmost important that all ministers honor the standard of behavior outlined in the Word of God concerning the opposite sex relationship. And common sense also teaches us how to relate with the opposite sex. Samson had an unethical interaction with the opposite sex, and it eventually led to the demise of his ministry and to the end of his life also. And therefore, the following standard may be very important in your relationship with an opposite sex. One of it is, as far as possible, do not minister to the opposite sex when you are alone. Imagine you visit a young lady alone in her room. You want to lay hands on her and to pray for her. Be very careful. Or you visit a young man alone in his room. You want to lay hands on him to pray for him. You also have to be careful. You have to have somebody with you all the time if you are ministering to an opposite sex. Remember that Jesus sent his disciples also 2 by 2. Yes, this is to protect them from accusation and possible temptation. It may be temptation and it may be an accusation. An accusation is something that they said you have done which you did not do. And a temptation is you could be lowered into sleeping with the person or extramarital relationship with the person. Yes, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are expedient for me. There are certain things that don't lawful, but you know that there are risks if you engage in them. And the second thing is, as much as possible, do not counsel an opposite sex alone behind closed door. You said you are a counselor. The opposite sex have a problem. Only the two of you under a closed door, and you are trying to counsel such a person. It will be risking your ministry. Leaving the door to the office open if you are counseling an opposite sex may help. Yes, it may help. Again, it's for your own protection. It's for your own protection. It is important that even though counseling an opposite sex in a closed door may not actually be evil, but it is an appearance of evil. You have not done anything, but people will assume and presume and conclude and infer that you have done something evil. In 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 22, it said, abstain from all appearances of evil. Do not have the habit or pattern of giving the opposite sex a ride alone in your car. Do not habitually pick up a young lady from the roadside of the ride, and give them a ride. This could lead to an extramarital affair. And even if there is no extramarital affair, it will also lead to accusation. Yes, and do not discuss your personal life and marital problems with the member of the opposite sex. This will also lead to intimate relationship with people who should not be too close with you. Yes, and when I mean the opposite sex, I said earlier that if you are a man, the opposite sex is a woman, and if you are a woman, the opposite sex is a man. So be careful, be careful. Do not have the habit of going on social outing alone with a member of the opposite sex who is not your spouse. You pick up somebody's wife, you take her for an outing. Or you pick up somebody's husband, you took him for an outing. It is not a good habit. It will only raise question about whether you are having an improper relationship with that person or not. Yes, and such kind of questions can lead to inferences that are not right. If you are a male minister, do not minister to a lady or lay hands on her private parts. Yes, the breasts, the buttocks, they are not place of laying hands, especially you are ministering alone. Yes, if you are also a woman, you imagine you are laying hands on a man's private part in the names of ministration. That is also unethical, is out of place. The book of Proverbs makes it clear in Proverbs chapter 6 verse 27 that can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned. So be very careful. This is wisdom. God bless you, and this is how much we are going to take for today's class, the ethics of relationship with the opposite sex. See you again in the next class. God bless you. Tell me in the comment section what you specifically learned from today's lesson. God bless you.